Time now for another movie review from GB and Riley.
Hello.
So we finally got around to watching a new movie film. And what was it?
John Dick 4.
Yeah. John Wick Chapter 4. The fourth and hopefully final film in the franchise. And we'll talk about why in the spoilers.
Right.
But in my opinion, after watching John Wick 4, I don't think there needs to be another one.
I agree. I feel like the way the ending played out, I feel like it was just good enough to just have 1 through 4 and that's it. What is it? Quadrilogy.
Yeah, quadrilogy, yeah.
Yeah, that. And then that's it. Just don't do any. Like, if you want to do, like, spin-offs in the world,
yeah, they're doing a...
sure, but that's it.
They are doing a spin-off called Ballerina, and it's going to be set between John Wick 3 and 4.
Okay.
So it's going to be... the ballerina you see, like, twirling in John Wick Chapter 3?
Yeah.
It's going to revolve around her character.
Well, she was pretty minor.
I know, but I think they recast her with somebody else.
Okay.
And you're going to have a few people show up. Ian McShane is Winston. The late Lance Riddick, who sadly passed away a few weeks ago. He has a cameo. And even Keanu Reeves as John Wick will get a cameo in Ballerina as well.
Huh.
I think it's coming out a year from now, summer 2024.
I've never heard of it, so.
Hopefully it's good. I guess we'll just
I'm going with what you're saying.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, we're going to talk about John Wick Chapter 4. And we'll do a really quick, I guess, review. Yeah. And then we'll dive into spoilers. Yeah, we'll dive into spoilers after that.
Okay, so
overall, okay, well, I was going to let you start.
Not anymore.
All right, fine. So overall, it was about, 3 hours, almost 3 hours, 2 hours, 49 minutes, I think.
Like Avatar long.
Yeah. And it was action-packed from start to finish. And it takes place several years after Chapter 3, so there's a time gap between 3 and 4, whereas there really isn't much time between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3.
Is it really several years? Because I know it takes place a little bit after.
I think it's at least a year, maybe longer. Because remember, I mean, this is obvious. Like anything that we mention regarding 1, 2, or 3, we don't really consider to be spoilers because those movies have been out for a quick minute.
Yeah.
John Wick was in kind of rough shape at the end of the third movie.
Yes.
So it probably took time for him to heal from those wounds and get back out there.
Yeah.
So this one does pick up a few years later.
Okay.
But overall, I really enjoyed it for the most part. It was action-packed almost start to finish.
To finish, yeah. Yeah, and it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah. And the plot was okay. I mean, you don't really go into this expecting, like, the greatest, like, movie films.
But it does have lore, though.
It does add more lore to the whole table and the assassins and all that stuff. If you're interested in the world-building aspect of John Wick, there's definitely plenty more to be added with John Wick Chapter 4.
Right.
And Keanu Reeves, great job once again as John Wick. Of course, Ian McShane as Winston. And sadly, the late Lance Riddick as Sharon.
Yeah, he didn't get that much time in this movie, but...
No.
No.
Yeah, it's sad because, he did just pass away a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then you had Bill Skarsgård as, I would say, the main antagonist. I think that's okay to say.
Yeah.
The Marquis.
The Marquis, yeah. I guess you can say the hero and then the villains, and that's it. You don't spoil it here because you're just seeing the actor's name and what they played.
Exactly.
So.
And then, of course, you had the legendary Donnie Yen as Kane.
I never heard of him.
Oh, he's quite well known in Hong Kong and China. I think he's one of those action kung fu stars.
Oh, well, the thing is, I've never heard of him.
But he's very talented, and he obviously shows his talents in John Wick 4.
Yeah, he did amazing. I loved him.
Yeah, and Hiroyuki Sanada as Shimazu.
Yeah, and Rina.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil what they do.
Yeah, but I want to talk about him real quick. Hiroyuki, I think, since the director of the John Wick movies is also going to be directing the live-action Ghost of Tsushima film.
Somewhere, sometime.
It's supposedly in the works right now, or at least in pre-production. I think we have our Lord Shimura in Hiroyuki. I think he's perfect as Lord Shimura. And it's funny because we went on Twitter, and a lot of people are saying the same thing about him.
Oh, and Jin.
Yeah, I don't know why they're saying he should be Jin Sakai. Jin's younger.
Yeah.
And Hiroyuki is like pushing 60.
Unless they de-age him.
I don't know. I don't think that's necessary. I think they can get a young, talented actor to be Jin. If it's, I would prefer going with the same actor that played Jin in the game.
Yeah, Sakasuji, I think is his name.
Yeah, because it was mocapped, and they actually had to do that stuff in the mocapping.
Right.
But if they're going to change the actors from the movie film for almost every other character, like Hiroyuki Sanada, I think he would be great as Lord Shimura. Plus, he was in The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, and that was the movie I was remembering him from. It's a good movie. You like Tom Cruise, so I think you would like Last Samurai. It came out a long time ago, though. But anyways, overall, I really, really enjoyed John Wick 4. It was far from perfect. I do feel like, once again, it's a good conclusion to the John Wick story. I know there's talk about them doing a John Wick 5. It seems pretty apparent why Lionsgate would be doing that. Money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would like it if they go the Uncharted route where they just do spin-offs around the world instead of continuing with the number, like 5.
Yeah, I think that's the point of ballerinas. They're just going to keep the Wick universe going.
Right, but you said John Wick 5.
I know, they're also working on John Wick 5.
So they're working on 2 movies.
But I don't even think it's happening. I think the studio wants it to happen for monetary reasons.
Okay.
But I think the creative team behind the John Wick movies want to go in a different direction by keeping the franchise going with Ballerina or some other characters they made.
Yeah.
Or like another character, the Tracker. We'll talk about the Tracker, Mr. Nobody. He was another good character. He was played by Shamir Anderson. Great role. He did a good job.
Yeah, he did amazing.
Oh, and the legendary Lawrence Fishburne, once again, as Bowery King. He was great.
Right.
So, yeah. And, Clancy Brown. He was also in this movie.
Yeah. He did.
Love Clancy. Well, and I also know him as Lex Luthor from the the DC animated universe.
I don't watch DC, so.
Well, you're lost. I tried to get her into Batman.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, but Superman was really good. So was Justice League, and of course Clancy Brown, as you and I both know, legendary voice actor.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He was in Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, as Hank.
Yeah, he was also in the original Highlander movie as the main antagonist, and he was a great antagonist when he was younger. So yeah, a lot of great actors and actresses that were involved in John Wick Chapter 4. So props to all of them. Props to the directing top notch, and the story itself. Like I said, with these action movies, the plot's it's there.
Yeah.
But it's not the biggest deal.
Yeah, but it's still good.
Yeah, but at least I think it does wrap up the John Wick story.
Yeah.
But overall, how would you rank or rate John Wick Chapter 4?
1, 4, 3, 2.
So 1, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go similar, but I'm going to do 1, 4, 2, 3. That's how I rank it. So we agree that Chapter 4 is the best sequel.
Yeah.
But the first movie's still the best, in my opinion.
The first movie's good, yeah. It's just that I keep going back and forth about the first movie and the fourth movie because goddamn, Kane and Tracker or Mr. Nobody, they are so good.
Yeah, they're great characters.
And they just carry this movie.
Mm-hmm.
They just, they're just new characters,
mm-hmm.
but goddamn do they make a great first impression.
Mm-hmm.
And I love him so much. If they made a side story, I mean, probably not Kane because of the movie of what happens, but...
well, Tracker, they could do...
Yeah, something with him.
Yeah, but that's getting into some dangerous waters there.
Yeah.
But overall, we do agree about the top 2 movies of the John Wick.
1 and 4.
Yeah. 1 and 4 are the best, and 2 and 3 are good. They're not as good. But they're all great because they all have Keanu Reeves as John Wick.
Yeah.
And, obviously they put a lot of care into the action sequences and mostly realism with, some...
Mostly. But that's the thing that I like about this whole John Wick thing because they don't make it, extremely fake. But he has, I have, 60 bullets in this 12-round mag.
Yeah.
And no, you can actually see him pick up ammo and mags and from them and then just put it in his gun.
And picking up other weapons.
And picking up other weapons as well.
Yeah.
And it's you can at least see him practicing because there's training for this.
Oh yeah,
He did a lot of training.
I think everybody involved, the last movie, Halle Berry was out there training.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think wasn't she in the third movie?
She was in the third movie, and I think she was involved in the training as well. So they not only just cast these people like because of their looks or because of their name recognition, but they also say, look, we're going to bring you on, but you got to get out there and do what Keanu can do. You got to go off and train, and
Right.
so they have to be really into it.
Yeah, and they were.
Yeah. So yeah.
And they did a really good job.
Yeah.
And overall, the movie's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to get into spoiler because I want to talk about
Yeah,
it.
we're about to go into spoilers. So if you're a huge John Wick fan,
Go see it.
go see it. Because at this point, it's been, the second week, so the crowd's died down a bit, so it won't be as packed.
There were only like maybe a dozen people in the theater with us.
Yeah, we did one of the matinee showings that we usually do, so
So
it might be more packed at night.
maybe. Yeah,
Especially
we went on
since
the weekdays. So.
Plus, it's Easter weekend coming up, so
That's true. We did go on the weekend in like the middle of the day, so
yeah.
that kind of people are like doing other stuff.
Yeah,
rather than go
what
to
better
the
way
theater.
to celebrate Good Friday and Easter weekend than go watch John Wick?
Yeah, go
4.
go watch people get killed by Mr. Keanu.
Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
overall, yep, we highly recommend it. It's the only 3-hour long movie, but
Go see it.
action non-stop.
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the spoilers.
All right. Okay, so it goes like I said, it goes after John Wick 3, and after, in John Wick 3, things did not end so well for John. John is like extremely hurt, and he's recovering, and obviously like Winston's not doing so well with Sharon because of the whole high table betrayal.
They got forgiveness by basically, quote unquote, killing John Wick.
Yeah, but everybody knows he's not dead. You shot him, there was no body at the bottom. So, he's not dead.
Yeah, but the table kind of let it go for like a year or so until John Wick decided to take a little trip back into the desert.
Yeah, and then he basically killed
He killed the new elder.
one of the elder leaders. And then bam, just straight up shot him. And then after that, like they found out John Wick's alive. And then they blew up the Continental in New York.
Yeah, like, that kind of pissed off the high table, killing their
Yeah.
elder.
Yeah, and they were already on heat with the high table.
Yeah,
So,
they were kind of
putting
on
that-
probation after the events of
John Wick 3.
Yeah,
And then after that, it was like the nail in the coffin.
yeah, basically.
So basically, they C4'd the whole building.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to make an example out of someone, so they shot Sharon.
Yeah, it sucks.
Or Karen?
I think it's Sharon.
Sharon?
Yeah, I think.
And then he dead.
Which is so weird because Lance Riddick just passed away, and to see his character killed off in this movie, even though he's gonna actually appear in Ballerina, that's gonna be his final appearance.
Yeah. Maybe
A
there's
year
no
from
CGI
now.
him.
No. They actually did that scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he actually shot he actually recorded his part in Ballerina.
Okay.
But
So-
anyways,
Yeah, basically, he gets killed.
yeah.
And Winston is not on. He's on thin ice as well.
No, he's left alive basically as punishment.
Yeah, but again, he's on thin ice at the same time. Because, it's not like the Marquis likes him.
No, he doesn't.
So, yeah, he's on thin ice with basically everybody.
Yeah.
And then after that, what happens?
Then what happens is John Wick ends up going to Nagasaki, to the Continental Nagasaki. That's where Hiroyuki's character is, Shimazu. He's a manager just like Winston.
Yeah.
And it's him and his daughter. And
Akira is basically the Sharon of that hotel.
Yeah, they have a like a manager, concierge, father, daughter.
Yeah.
And so the Marquis ends up tracking down John Wick to the Nagasaki Continental, and of course a big old fight breaks out. But before that, another character gets recruited by the Marquis, Kane.
Yeah.
So Kane, Shimazu, and John Wick are like really good friends apparently.
Yeah.
Very talented assassins, all three of them.
Yeah, but the thing is that King was retired.
Yeah.
And he was watching his daughter, but then the Marquis called him to get him out of retirement to kill John Wick because John Wick appeared back on radar.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh no, you cannot do that to me."
Yeah.
But then they started like giving threats to his daughter, and he basically got rehired into the assassin world again, and had to kill John Wick. So, yeah, he did not want to do this. So he hates the Marquis for basically doing this, but at the same time, giving threats to his daughter, so he might as well do the job.
Yeah, he has no choice.
He has no choice. So basically, they all go to Japan. So Wick, Kane, Shimasu, and Akira, they're all in Japan.
Yeah.
And I think John Wick is in hiding. And
oh, the tracker also shows up.
Yeah,
This is when we first meet the tracker.
Yeah,
along with his
dog.
Is an emotional support dog.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically, they're having this meeting. John Wick and Shimazu. Yeah, and they're having this meeting about, what was it again? I think they were like, are you sure this is worth it or something?
Well, I think John Wick was trying to figure out a way out of this whole situation, and Shimazu was, because they're old friends, was protecting him.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, his daughter was warning about what would happen. That only death follows John Wick, including death to friends, and that has happened throughout the movies. And unfortunately for the Nagasaki Continental, it gets attacked by the Marquis men and the high table soldiers.
Yep.
And so a fight breaks out between Shimazu's, I guess his samurai or Ronin, and sumo. He has sumo wrestlers also.
Yep.
So a big old fight breaks out. A whole bunch of people get killed on both sides, and John Wick manages to escape. Akira gets injured, and then there's a pretty sweet fight between Kane and Shimazu. Kane doesn't want to fight Shimazu because they're friends.
Yeah, and Shimazu was already injured. He got a bullet wound.
Yeah.
So he was already in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
And let's just say it does not end well for Shimazu, sadly.
No.
It's sad, too, because I like Shimazu.
Yeah.
That's all the characters in this movie are so good, even if with their first impression.
Yeah, even though you only get a few minutes with Shimazu and Akira, you end up liking them almost right away, just like Tracker.
And basically, I think Shimazu just was trying to buy enough time for Wick to go away or something.
Yeah. And all Kane wanted, by the way, Kane's blind, but he's so good that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? He uses a cane which has a sword in it.
He's basically a Japanese Daredevil.
Well, no, he's not Japanese. He's Chinese.
Okay.
Shimazu's Japanese and Kane is Chinese or Hong Kong.
Okay, well.
But anyways, they end up in a pretty epic fight. But Kane, once again, doesn't want to fight Shimazu because all he wants is to find out where John Wick went. But Shimazu refuses to, turn on him.
Yeah,
but, yeah, you said, it doesn't end well for him.
It doesn't end well for him because he's just buying time for Wick to go out.
Yeah.
And he just keeps fighting and fighting until, sadly, he takes too many stabby stabs.
Yeah.
And
then the daughter's about to try and pick up the blade, but then Kane stops her and says,
don't
live.
Don't live.
Yeah.
And then basically she walks away, and then he says, I'll be seeing you soon, and that pisses her off. Mm-hmm. But then she keeps walking away before she does something stupid.
Yeah.
And then John Wick retreats to the train, and she also retreats to the train, and I feel like Akira wants to kill Wick.
No.
Because she had a gun.
Akira was mad at Wick because she was right. Him being at the Continental in Nagasaki led the Marquis men and the high table and Kane to them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she knows that the only one that could potentially avenge her father's death is John Wick.
Yeah.
So that's what she says. It's like either you kill Kane or I'm going to. But technically, it's at the end of the day, Kane is just another pawn in this.
Yeah, he's not really the main bad guy. He's the Marquis.
Yeah, the Marquis and the high table are the main antagonists.
Yeah. So, then basically after that, what happens?
Teleporting.
Oh, yeah, we're teleporting to New York.
Yeah, so we're teleporting from the desert to Nagasaki, Japan, then back to New York City.
Yeah, so they can talk about, Sharon's funeral, and Winston's there.
And then Winston, gives John Wick a way out, basically.
Yeah, it's okay, so if you want a way out, you have to do this, and you have to go to a high table duel.
Yeah.
And then if you want a high table duel, the only way you can get that is to go through a family. The family needs to sponsor you. The sponsorship leads to the duel, and the duel leads to you getting out.
Yeah.
And basically, you go through this whole trip. You have to go from Japan to New York to Berlin.
Yep, because that's where John Wick's former family is. The Russia Roman, or what are they called? The Rusko Romans?
I don't remember.
So in order to get back in with the Rusko Roman family, John Wick has to go kill a big giant German dude.
Yeah, so basically it's like, okay, well, what are you doing here, John Wick? Well, I want the way out. Oh, you cannot have a way out. And then it's like, okay, but I want in,
Yeah.
and something else, something. And then it's like, okay, well, if you want in, you have to kill this guy for us.
Yeah.
And then you see Mr. Nobody also show up.
Yep.
And then you see Kane.
He shows up.
And then the cheater German dude.
Yeah, the big. I forgot what the German dude's name is. This big German dude with gold teeth.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
He's kind of in a weird way, he's kind of a comic relief, but he's also kind of menacing because even at first you think he's a coward, but then you start to see him fight and you see how he's kind of like this big giant, basically I guess you could say a walking Berlin Wall.
Yeah. But yeah, basically all three of them hate him.
Yeah.
And
he basically they play this poker game and he cheats.
Yeah, he got 5 of a kind.
Yeah, five of a kind.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
But hell, even the royal flush could not beat him.
No. There's no such thing unless you're playing like a Joker as a wild card.
No, he was just cheating.
Yeah, he was just outright cheating.
So basically, they turn on him, and
but you see this constant uneasy alliance that happens throughout the movie between John Wick, Kane, and the Tracker.
Yeah,
it just happens. Even though Kane and the Tracker are both after John Wick, there are times whenever they have to temporarily form alliances.
Yeah, like Kane was helping John Wick. And John Wick was trying to kill the German dude.
Yeah.
And was he even given a name? I forgot his name.
He was given a name, but I forgot the name. He killed the former leader of the Ruska Romans or whatever they're called.
Piotr?
Yeah, Peter. And so they want revenge for that. And that's the only way that they'll let John Wick back into the family. And by letting him back at the family, then they'll be able to get a seat at the high table, and then that's how he's going to be able to get his duel against the Marquis.
Right. So basically, I think the Tracker here is like in a little conflict because he wants to kill John Wick, but at the same time he has to help him.
Yeah, it's weird because he's on one end he does help him sometimes, but he's also negotiating with the Marquis
It's because it's not enough money.
Yeah.
He wants more. He's trying to be greedy.
Because I think it was the movie starts off with the same price tag as the end of 3 was
18 million.
18? Okay, so it was 18 million, but then the price starts going up.
Higher. It ends up going to 40 million.
Yeah, by the end of the 4th movie.
Yeah. So basically, everybody wants him dead.
Yeah.
Even though John Wick has literally killed like an entire state worth of people.
Yeah.
Like, what makes you think you're gonna do better? Like, you see like all these bodies. It's like the best thing you could just do is just get a sniper and.
Yeah, I just don't understand the whole logic. Like, these assassins are supposed to be skilled. You think there at least be they at least show a few assassins that would just be like sitting there going like, well, good luck.
It's because John Wick is supposed to be this top tier assassin with his reputation. It's like he's so good that nobody can beat him.
Yeah,
He's supposed to be like that. He's like the best assassin there is. So that's why everybody else is like whatever, because he's like the best of the best.
Yeah.
That's why he retired.
Yeah, it's just he retired because he wanted to be with his wife. But.
Yeah, but. He was really good at what he did.
Well, him and Kane were both two of the best.
Obviously, you heard the tale of the Baba Yaga and that he killed a man with his pencil, and then you hear him tell all these stories about John Wick, about how menacing he is, and he killed this guy with a fucking pencil.
Yeah.
Who the fuck does that?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But they end up John Wick ends up chasing the German. And they end up fighting this nightclub, all these people dancing.
Yeah, they don't even notice.
And my theory is they're drunk, they're high on drugs, or both. That's why they don't run away until near the end of the fight. Because they're dancing oblivious to people being murdered and bullets and axes flying everywhere.
Yeah, they don't even notice.
Yeah.
They notice at the end once he dies.
I know, it's just weird. It's like at the end, that's when you guys decide to run away? Okay.
But yeah, basically once he dies, he got the proof. So... Because they also said this, bring us proof that you killed him. So he gets the proof, he puts it in his pocket, and then the Tracker sees him, and he wants to shoot him with his lever action modern repeat or whatever gun he has that he can just build in 2 seconds out of his backpack.
Yeah.
But then Kane shows up, and he's like, no, not yet, or something.
Yeah, they're kind of struggling to decide who's going to kill him. Like, both of them obviously want to kill him for different reasons, but... In a weird way, they don't really want to kill him.
Yeah,
but
I know Kane doesn't want to kill him.
But yeah, John Wick does manage to best the German. It just takes a bit of a fight.
Yeah, it's like a 6-minute fight.
Because not only do you have to fight this big giant German dude,
He's strong as hell too.
He's strong as hell.
He tanks.
Yeah, and it's weird because he even threw John Wick off the balcony.
Yeah, like free stories.
And he fell on something, and then he fell onto the ground, and water pouring over him. But John Wick still gets up and fights off.
Yeah,
and kills most of the henchmen.
You just go with it.
Yeah,
you just go with it, okay?
Yeah, John Wick tanks a lot of damage in this.
And then, like, later, as we're going to talk about, but later he jumps out of a building and he lands on a fucking car.
Oh, yeah, that happens too.
Like, how does he just gets up and walks away? That's just hilarious.
Yeah, so now the German's dead. He has proof that he killed him. I think he took at least one golden tooth.
Yeah, he took one golden tooth. He brought it to them. He got his little tattoo. We'll sponsor you. And then Winston gets the request. Oh, hey, I want to fight this dude, and he gets it to the Marquis. Yeah. And the Marquis is like, why would I care? And it's like, oh, yeah, their reputation's on the line. And you imagine you're the man that took John Wick down. And
and you have to obey the rules.
You have to obey the rules.
Because one of the oldest rules, I guess, of the high table is the right to duel.
Yeah, so don't pussy out.
Because apparently the dueling, which was introduced in this movie, by the way, so it's the first time we hear about it. But according to the lore, from what's explained by Winston, is it's a way that members of the high table would settle things without going to war with each other.
Right. And it would be life or death. Because, like, you cannot wear bulletproof vests, only, like, your normal clothes, and that's it. Yeah. So, one has to live and one has to die.
Now, well...
Yes.
No, I'll explain why in a minute. Because then they meet in Paris with the Eiffel Tower in the background.
Yes.
To discuss the rules. Clancy Brown's character, which is... I guess he's a representative of the high table because he shows up here and there.
Yeah.
And he's going over the rules. And they each have like these cards, and each card has different numbers. And they're each deciding on what to do. Like, what time shall the duel be? And the Marquis wants it to be at dawn. But he gets the higher number, so it's at dawn.
Yeah.
And then weapons. The Marquis wants to use blades. John Wick wants to use pistols. John Wick ends up with a higher number.
So he gets pistols.
Pistols. And then they ask, okay, so they both agree to no quarter, which means no mercy.
Right.
The duel could have been to whoever is determined to be the winner without the other dying.
Okay. I didn't catch that
But because they both agreed to no quarter, that means, no, the loser dies.
Mm.
So, but the other thing that the Marquis did, which was a typical bullshit thing, was he put Kane is over there sitting on the side, by the way.
Right.
He puts Kane up as his nomination. So instead of the Marquis dueling Wick, it's Kane. And Kane's at first against it. He's like, bullshit, I'm not. But then, of course, once again, the Marquis holds his daughter over Kane's head. He's like, hey, you will do this or else something bad will happen to your daughter.
So, so he's basically hiding behind Kane.
Yeah. So they agreed to meet the next morning at a church. They agreed to a location by a church in Paris.
Yeah, Kane and Wick.
Yeah. Well, they didn't agree. Like, once again, Wick won that one. He had the higher card.
Yeah.
So they agreed the next morning to meet at a church, sunrise, and duel with pistols.
Yep.
And they would do 30 paces, turn, shoot. If they were both still standing, they'd move 20 paces, then 10 paces, and each reloading until one was officially dead.
Yeah.
But the problem is John Wick getting to the duel on time.
Yeah, because the Marquis was basically trying to stall him so that he wouldn't show up.
Yeah, so throughout the entire night in Paris,
he's just fighting like over dozens of dudes, just trying to kill like multiple assassin organizations.
Because this is where the price starts going up really high.
Yeah, it goes from like 20 to like 40 in like 4 hours.
Yeah. And the only one at this point that's really kind of going after John Wick, besides all these assassins that are just being murdered left and right, is like the Marquis henchman, including his second in command, who's been kind of problematic throughout the movie.
Yeah. And the tracker.
And the tracker. And there's a cool scene with the muscle cars, with John Wick shooting from a muscle car. And some people were like, well, it looks like this might not be exactly a reload scene here because he's kind of having some sort of infinite ammo issue.
Yeah. But I think he would have like 20 bullets on that mag or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he does get a unique 9mm from Bowery King and a bulletproof suit.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's always had that.
Yeah.
but he gets a new one.
Yeah.
And they make like smart ass comments like, a man always has to look good for his wedding or his
funeral. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically he has to keep fighting a bunch of organizations, and that basically goes for like 20 to half an hour.
Yeah, basically find his way through Paris. I think from the Eiffel Tower, the Arc of Triumph, I think, to the Eiffel Tower, to like an older neighborhood. And the older neighborhood, there's a really cool top-down fight scene that happens inside the building.
It looks so good.
It reminded me of the old GTAs.
Wow.
Because it goes top-down, and he ends up with the...
Dragon's Breath.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Dragon's Breath 12-gauge shotgun. Yeah. And it looks amazing. And the top-down version makes it look even better. Mm-hmm. And before that, there was something I want to talk about. There's like a high-table Mafia FM radio.
Oh, yeah, they're the ones broadcasting the music and letting everybody know about the price going up. Yeah.
Yeah, but like civilians get access to that, or?
Yeah,
or is it like an encrypted radio channel?
I guess they have to have a unique frequency, right?
Yeah, because if you're like, okay, let me just listen to some music, and the John Wick bounty goes to 40 million. So what the fuck?
The issue is like normal radio, because I'm from radio. We have AM and then you have FM, and as long as it's in a certain range, depending on how powerful the tower is, mm-hmm. like anybody could take a basic radio and tune into that particular dial, FM or AM, within reason. So yeah, that radio station had to have some sort of unique like way to encrypt it, I guess, in order for you to actually hear it. And what's weird is like it's taking place this high table like board, because they have the like where they'll put up people that are wanted, including John Wick. Yeah. And they'll broadcast it out with their ancient computers from like the 80s or 90s.
Encrypted.
And it's all encrypted. So I guess it would make sense that the radio station itself would be encrypted. Right. But they actually have an office in the top of the Eiffel Tower. Yeah. But that's just the world that they exist in. The world,
you just go with it.
I guess it just once again shows you how powerful the high table is.
Right. Yeah. So basically, after all that fight, before we get to the church, the second in command is about to shoot the tracker's dog, and then John Wick has the pistol literally at the tracker, so he could just kill him.
Yeah, because the tracker finally, through negotiation with the Marquis, got the price up to 40 million. He's like, okay, well now it interests me to kill John Wick, or at least try to.
But the problem is that the second in command for the Marquis was going to kill the tracker's dog. Mm-hmm. So John Wick does the right thing and kills injures the second in command. So he saves the tracker's dog, and then the tracker changes his mind for like a little bit.
No, I think this permanently changes his mind, because throughout the movie it's kind of like he's kind of like in the middle, like he wants to help John Wick, but at the same time he wants to be rich.
Right. No, but he doesn't permanently at this point, because at the very end is when the dog looks at him and it's like, oh, okay.
I think because of obviously John Wick's history with what basically set him off was the death of his dog.
No, but he was going to shoot him.
I know, babe. So the fact that John Wick chose to save the dog instead of kill the tracker is what ultimately swayed the tracker to John's side. Okay. Not right. It didn't seem like he didn't automatically join forces with John Wick, but it's what stopped the tracker from pursuing John Wick any further, because John Wick had the tracker dead to rights. Mr. Nobody was about to be another nobody, worm food. Yeah. But because John Wick chose to save the dog, because he's obviously very well attached to dogs at this point. Yeah. That was a common bond between the tracker and John Wick. They both obviously like dogs. Yeah. And his dog is the tracker's dog is badass.
Yeah, he's a really good dog. It's like the dog from John Wick 3, but made into a character.
Yeah. He's very similar to Halle Berry's dogs.
Those dogs.
Yeah, I think those were also German Shepherds, right?
Yeah,
short-haired German Shepherds. Yeah.
But yeah, they were really good, and they worked. The dog was one of the best characters. Again, another great first impression. Yeah. And it's like almost everything in this movie works. Yeah. And then basically you have to get through this staircase.
Oh yeah, up these stairs.
Yeah, this stairway to heaven.
Yeah, to the church, and this is.
And this is where where there's like a ton of like bad guys, and he basically kills most of them, and then like he gets hit. He gets ambushed.
He almost makes it to the top, and then the Marquis henchmen show up along with his second in command again,
and push him all the way down.
There's so many times that the second in command he gets hit by cars, he gets hit by bullets, but I guess he has a bulletproof suit on as well.
He does,
and he just manages to come back.
Yeah, and then
but he basically knocks John Wick down all the flight of stairs. And in this part of the movie, I leaned over to you like, this is dumb.
You just go with it.
I know, but it was so stupid because if you roll down that many stairs, it's going to leave you badly injured. And I realize that's ridiculous because in a previous scene, as you mentioned earlier, after the top-down scene, he does leap out of a building and land on a van.
Yeah.
And that should have hurt him too.
Yeah, but you just go with it just because he's John Wick.
Yeah, but you did notice something. You noticed that John was intentionally rolling.
Yeah, in a few areas, I noticed that he was intentionally rolling, so he could keep falling more and more,
and not maybe prevent himself from being hurt by the steps.
Right.
Okay,
so.
And time's running out, by the way. It's almost sunrise.
He has like 3 minutes.
Yeah, he has to get to the church. The Marquis there. You have Winston there, who's going to be his second. If John Wick wins, then Winston gets his hotel back, and the table will rebuild the hotel. Yeah. If not, the second basically has the same fate as John Wick.
Yeah, and what you have is Kane shows up.
Yeah. And
helps John Wick get up the stairs. So you need to make it up the stairs.
Yeah.
So Kane helps him get to the destination of the church.
Yeah, Kane and John Wick are fighting their way up the stairs against the Marquis men.
Yeah, so they basically make it to the same area near the end.
And Tracker's helping too.
And
Doggo.
But then something happens where the second hits John Wick, and he's about to kill John Wick. Mm-hmm. But the Tracker sees him, and then the dog's like, okay, well, he saved me, go kill the second in command. Yeah. And he kills him. Yeah,
Tracker and Doggo finally kill him. Hopefully.
No, well, he peed on him.
Yeah, that was funny.
He got a bullet to the head.
Yeah, first Doggo tries to rip the dude's junk off, right?
Yeah.
And then Tracker basically puts the dude out of his misery.
And then he pees on him.
That was hilarious.
And then they finally make it to the duel.
Yeah.
And the Tracker is watching on a seat.
Him and Doggo are sharing a beer.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, they're sharing a beer. They're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go watch this duel, and the dog is sitting down, and then King gets to the left side, and
oh yeah, you forgot one part when John Wick says, "I owe you." What did Kane do to one of his hands?
I don't remember.
He stabbed I think his right hand.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, okay, now we're even. It's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was to force John Wick to use his weaker hand in the duel. So I guess Kane intentionally stabbed him in his better hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we finally made it to the duel. All right, we got John Wick, we got Kane, we got Winston, we got the Marquis, we got Clancy Brown's character who's going over the rules.
Mm-hmm. And they basically take all their steps, and basically they do round one. They grab the bullet, they put it in their guns, they say shoot. Basically, they both get hit on this. What is this called? Yeah, they both hit each other on the arm because they're out 30 paces, and it's like the high-powered pistol. It's a marksman pistol from GTA.
Yeah, basically. And there's one shot per pistol.
Yeah.
And they have to reload after every shot.
So then they take 10 more paces.
Yeah. Well, no, it's 20, I think, on the second.
No, because it goes from 30 to 20 to 10, right?
Yeah, 30, 20, then 10.
So they have to take 30 to 20, so 10 steps.
Okay, we'll just go with that.
Okay, so basically...
And by the way, the Marquis is technically Kane's second. He's the one that's given Kane the bullet, and basically he says something to Kane, and Kane's like, fuck off!
Yeah, like he tells the king, remember your daughter. Yeah. And he says, fuck off. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
And then they shoot again, and they hit each other on the shoulder.
No. John Wick gets hit here, up on the shoulder. But Kane actually gets a pretty bad injury down here in his belly or in his gut or somewhere.
Because of what's coming next.
And at this point, you're thinking, okay, this is not good for Kane.
No.
And by the way, Kane's blind once again. He's just going by
sound.
Yeah, he's going by sound and his decades of training as an assassin. Mm-hmm. So they each get one more bullet each.
Yep. And what happened here is that Cain shoots Wick.
Yeah, and hits him.
And hits him like here, like in the belly.
Yeah, in a similar, I guess
it's like down here.
In a similar spot where Cain got hit, or maybe a worse spot, but
yeah, a little bit lower.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically bringing John to his knees, or basically on the floor.
Yeah.
And basically you think like, okay, well, Cain wins.
Yeah.
Basically. And then basically John's still alive, so he has to take like one more bullet.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the Marquis wants to take down John.
He wants to do the coup de grace against.
Basically,
John.
You tank all the shots and I'll kill him.
Yeah, but the thing is, Cain says, "Okay, me and my daughter, are we good?
We're good now." Yeah.
And so the Marquis basically gives Cain what he wants.
Yeah, and he gives him the pistol.
Yeah, he gives the Marquis the pistol.
But what he doesn't notice is that once he gets the gun ready, the thing is that John didn't shoot Cain. So basically, John has the. Winston says, "You arrogant asshole!" Like he didn't shoot, and then he's like, "Huh? What?" And when he looks at John, he shoots him in the head.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah, and that basically ends. The Marquis is dead. Cain is extremely weak because he tanked 2 bullets.
Yeah.
And John tanked 3.
Yeah.
So basically, John's free. He earned his freedom. So he wins, and the High Table gives Winston his hotel back.
Yeah, and they're gonna pay for it being rebuilt.
Right, and then John says to Cain, like, "Now you owe me one."
Yeah.
But the thing is that finally John has his life back. He can now go down the stairs to live his life normally. But the thing is,
by the way, the sun's rising, so it's a beautiful sunrise over Paris.
Oh yeah, so it's like 6:03 a.m.
On these steps over the church, and I don't know if you caught it, but I caught it. The fact that John did not shoot.
I didn't catch it.
I did. I don't know if it's because Cain just shot him too fast.
It's because I was focusing on both of them this.
But I noticed it. I noticed it that yes, John did not fire his shot, and obviously John Wick did it intentionally,
right?
Hoping that Cain wouldn't just kill him right there, so that he would have a chance to take out the Marquis, and obviously Cain did.
But yeah, one more thing I noticed is that I did not describe. Is that they were talking about, like in the stewards, they were talking about that what they wanted in their graves if they die.
Oh yeah.
And I know that for Karen they wrote friend.
Yeah, Sharon, friend. Yeah.
And John wanted loving husband.
Yep.
And I forgot what the others wanted, but.
I think that Bowery King just wanted like.
Oh, long live the king.
Long live the king.
But I forgot about Winston.
I don't know if Winston said anything.
But yeah, basically he's going down the stairs. He finally got his freedom.
Yeah.
And he's bleeding out.
Yeah, I mean he's been shot 3 times by a pretty
strong boy.
Plus all the bruising he took getting to the hotel, getting to the church for the duel.
So he starts thinking about his wife, and he bleeds out to death, and he dies.
Yeah, he's sitting there with the sun rising. He's looking at the sun going over Paris, and he has some final memories of his wife.
His final words is Helen.
Yep,
Helen. And then he just passes out, and then we cut to the next scene, and he's buried next to his wife. So
in New York, yeah.
John Wick is dead.
Yep. And Bowery King and Winston are there.
Yeah, and so where do you think he is, heaven or hell? And they said, who knows?
Yeah.
And then he laughed. They laugh, and then they walk off, and the movie ends.
The movie ends. And one other thing that Winston said was, "Goodbye, my son."
Yeah, he said that.
And that leads a lot of people to speculate that, they've been theorizing this, I think, forever, is that Winston could very well be John Wick's biological father.
I don't think so.
Or he's just more of a surrogate father.
I thought he was just saying it like, because he always called him like Jonathan.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's not biological.
Because he's an orphan.
Yeah. Maybe he's not biologically John Wick's father, but I think you could make the argument that he is a surrogate father of John.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but basically, the movie ends and it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. It got me a little teary-eyed at the end, like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Because I did not want Cain or John to die. Because I just loved him that much.
Yeah.
I just wanted, like, okay, well, he's going to kill the Marquis, and then that's it. He gets his freedom and he lives. No. But then, no, it did not happen, and John died.
Well, I mean, if you think about it to that point, what did John have to live for?
Nothing. But I mean, the thing is that once they got to the duel, but the thing is, I was expecting John to win. But once I saw him getting shot like 3 times, I was like, yeah, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
I kind of had a feeling, and then he dies.
I applaud the director and the writers and Keanu Reeves for committing to that ending and saying, yeah, John Wick's dead. He's gone. I think they even have talked about it in interviews. Like, yeah, he's dead. Even though the studio wants a John Wick 5, I really hope, once again, the creative team and Keanu Reeves says no.
John Wick 5 on that nightmare.
We had a joke idea on the way home about how John Wick finds himself in hell, and he finds out his wife's in heaven, so he has to fight his way through hell.
Yeah, like Saints Row.
Yeah.
Like, get out of hell.
Yeah, he ends up having to fight his way through all the demons and eventually Satan himself in order
to get to heaven.
To get the golden ticket, the golden ticket, which allows him to cross over from hell to heaven.
And then he finds this dog that they killed in John Wick 1 and his wife.
Well, all dogs go to heaven.
or maybe he has to find out all the assassins he killed it.
Oh, they're all in hell. Most of them are probably in hell too.
He has to kill all the assassins again.
And then they all go to Detroit. It's a South Park reference.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but yeah, overall great movie. I would say 9.5 out of 10. That's my score.
I would say 9 out of 10. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I still think the first one is like really, really good.
Yeah, I would put the original John Wick 9.5. So.
I would say 9.9.
Okay, that's fine. But this does not need a sequel.
No, just leave it 1 to 3
These
and 4.
4 movies stand together. Start, middle, finish.
No, start, middle, finish.
Yeah, middle, finish. Yeah. But we don't need another John Wick movie. Now, if you want John Wick to appear and say Ballerina like he's going to, which is set between John Wick 3 and 4, that's fine. But the only reason to do a John Wick 5 at this point is an obvious cash grab. I don't think it adds anything to the John Wick story.
No, just leave it as it is.
Or once again, like do spin-offs with Ballerina as well as Tracker, aka Mr. Nobody, even Kane, maybe Kane or maybe Akira, because she's out there, she's probably pissed off still at Kane for killing her dad, even though technically it was the Marquis that forced him to kill his dad.
Yeah,
her dad. Yeah, so
you have ideas for spin-offs, just
don't
continue the number. It was about John Wick, so
yeah, his story's over. Just give us new stories in the same universe, world building the right way.
Yeah, so yeah, that's basically it for me. Overall, I really enjoyed the movie, and I love the characters. Like King was amazing, and the Tracker was amazing. Mr. Nobody, Winston was good. Shimizu was amazing. Akira was really good. The fighting was really good, and overall, the action was amazing. One of the best. Yep. I mean, I preferred the action in this movie over 2 and 3, although 2 and 3 did get creative. Yeah. But this movie just so good. Yeah. Especially like getting hit by cars 7 times and he still kept getting it.
That was a bit of a stretch. Just like the whole falling off a building, hitting a van, and rolling down these flight of steps.
And then he's doing a drive-by with his Plymouth with his gun and just straight up hitting people that cannot hit him. That was badass. And they got creative. The dragon breath scene.
That was
cool. So good.
Yeah.
And the cane scenes and the sword fighting. It was all amazing.
I agree.
And
of course, rest in peace to the late Lance Riddick.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, go see this movie. Really, really good.
Yep, highly recommended. And if you've already watched John Wick 4, and I guess all 4 John Wick movies most likely, rate them for us. Tell me how you would rank them. Like we did.
Right.
You did
1, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, and I did 1, 4, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So feel free. And in your opinion, did you like John Wick Chapter 4? And how would you rank it compared to the other John Wick movies? Feel free and let us know below in the comments section.
Bye-bye.